So we've got this nice little loading frame thing here. Basically, we'll just stay there until everything's done rendering, and then it'll disappear. Okay, so we've got a nice little ball here. We can change the camera position to the front, the back, the north, the south, the east, and the west. We can also view all the sides at once, and obviously they're labelled so we know which one's which. So let's go back to front for a minute. We can adjust the X coordinate. Look, there he is. And let's put him back normal. There we go. And we can also adjust the Y. Y needs to be refreshed though for some reason. There we go. Go back to 0. That's the ball. Adjust, say, about, I don't know, like just over 250 on Z. And let's see if that's what we get. Let's see, turn that back to 0. The adjust X, Y and Z will only work for the camera position if it's front, back, north, south, east and west, but only for those, not for any of the other features. Okay, so for slices we've got the XY plane, and then we've got the XZ plane, and then we've got the YZ plane. Now the idea here was before that they will decided to basically give them a small view, but I thought it would be good if they clicked on it, they could get a bigger view of that slice. Like it will render a bigger version of it and basically like a separate window. But obviously didn't have time to implement that feature. So now we view the X, Y, Z. We've also got the non-orthogonal slices. Here we go. And obviously full view just takes us back to the original view. We also have colouring options here, so we've got grayscale, and obviously this affects everything throughout without changing, so click on all sides. Look, everything is grayscale. We also can turn it back to colour at will. There we go. Or we can have a custom colour. Let's just let's say main. Let's say main is going to be this light blue colour here. Okay. This actually needs to be refreshed too, so if we click front, there you go, the main value, which is white in this case, is now that light blue I just picked. Coolio. And obviously we can turn it back to colour mode anytime we want. There we go. And I've also made a histogram. So this is how many times a value has appeared for the quantity. And this is how many different values have appeared which are not 0. So there's 254 of them. and obviously there's not that much difference between each one in quantity terms, but should be enough. So yeah, I think that's about it. So save image was supposed to be a feature where they would click on it and it will basically just take a screen print just of the canvas, and it will basically just save it and then exit. Oh, don't exit yet, Ryan. So if you go to, let's state all sides, yeah, and then let's resize this bad boy. And there you go, it's loaded down there. And if we make it full screen, there we go. Okay, so if we click File and Exit, I'll exit the program. So, Setup. So basically just setting everything up, setting the perspectives, the matrix mode, the orthogonal, width height ratio, let's just do a little bit of this. So do once, so this will only happen once. I have already made an array up there, a three-dimensional array, which is just basically empty. And get slices is basically a method I have made, which I'll show you now. Whoa. There we go, so it's basically the volumetric data set, takes in the raw file, obviously makes an array and basically just returns it. And obviously we want to do that once because it takes a while to work. Arrays.fill fills a data map I've made up here for the histogram, basically full of zeros, so it doesn't have null in there. Okay, so this basically, the rest just basically renders calls methods to render stuff. Get data, fill data map, histogram. So with a histogram, it basically loops through and calculates how many non-zero elements there are, and then it do a little bit of math to calculate it to get like the width of each one so it doesn't go over the boundary, and obviously draw the lines, and then obviously generate a random color, and then basically just like plot, go through, generate a random color, plot it, and then just update the value of where the previous one was, and then just redo it. And obviously draw text. With non-orthogonal slices, I just changed the matrix mode to GL projection and rotated it a little bit on -X so we could see it better. And then basically drew everything I needed to draw. Determine color. So for determine color, so if the scalar value is 0, we don't want to draw that, otherwise it won't be a sphere. But I decided to do everything else on Z because I was getting a gradient effect before, and it was hard because it was a golf ball. It was hard to tell the difference between the angles, so I just changed that to Z. Obviously grayscale, the colour's just the same, just grey. Plot pixels, so basically it plots a pixel of size 1 exactly in the centre of the screen, obviously plus X, same with Y, same with Z. For all sides, it basically tells the angle in which the ball should be in. Then obviously scales, then actually apply the rotation, and then move the drawing if we need to, and then draw it. And that's like the same for everyone. Draw text is basically just using a text renderer to draw basic string. Obviously I would input the string and the X and Y position myself when I'm calling it. For display, we're basically creating whoa. Here for display, I'm creating a new auto drawable and a new glue, creating a new rectangle, getting the bounds of the frame which is holding the JOGL canvas, because that's what's actually been resized, and then obviously getting the height and the width of that, and resetting the height and the width manually. And then obviously I'm going to need to change the width height ratio because it's going to be different. So then I'm obviously going to change the GL canvas size based on the new frame size. So if height is greater than width, then basically half height. So stuff actually gets rendered on screen. Yeah, that's basically it for this. So slices, let's go to top. So YZ plane, so here we're just shaving bits off Z every time, drawing it. This is the same for all of them. Yep, just shaving Z, bit off Z every time. For the XY, I've rotated it by -90 on Y, so it's visible to the camera and so it looks flat. And this time we're doing it on X. Obviously we're drawing some on X and then moving along and then doing it again, just with a different part of X. And this obviously repeats too. And for the XZ plane, we are rotating it by 90 on X, and this time we're shaving off Y. And then obviously moving it, drawing it, moving it, repeat. Is there anything else? Just make note of one thing. So basically, after everything's been rendered, because still once will still be 0 because I haven't done everything once yet, it will fill the data map, and then it will dispose of the loading frame, which is basically the placeholder for the image. And then obviously it'll set the flag so it will never go in there ever again. And I think that's all there is to it without going into too much detail. Okay, let's stop here.